I never imagined a single sentence could rewrite everything I felt for someone. It was one of those still evenings where even the air seems to hold its breath, waiting. Emily sat across the table, her fingers wrapped around a mug of tea that had long gone cold. Our wedding was just a week away. The apartment carried the soft scent of lavender candles and old takeout. I didn't expect her words to cut through that calm. She lifted her eyes, voice steady but quiet. I invited my ex to our wedding. For a second I thought I misheard. The sentence sounded wrong, impossible. My ex, our wedding. My mind refused to hold them together. My first feeling wasn't anger, it was pure confusion. I studied her face, searching for a hint of humor, but she wasn't smiling. My voice barely broke the silence. Why would you do that? She shrugged lightly, casual, like it meant nothing. We're still friends. It didn't end badly. I didn't think it was a big deal. Not a big deal. The words echoed. I tried to stay calm, but something inside me fractured, quietly, invisibly. Not a loud break, just a slow, sinking realization. I leaned back and looked at her differently for the first time. Not as the woman I planned to marry, but as someone who didn't know how to guard what we'd built. Did you tell me because you thought I'd be okay with it? I asked. Or because you'd already sent the invitation? Her eyes drifted away, and I had my answer. A heavy ache rose in my chest, not rage, not jealousy, but something closer to mourning. The quiet grief of seeing someone you love wound you so gently you almost miss it. She sighed, brushing hair from her face. Ryan, he's part of my past. I nodded. Slowly. You thought wrong, I said, softly. You thought I'd smile while you danced with your past at our wedding. The silence pressed down like weight. The clock ticked too loudly. I didn't shout. I didn't break anything. I just stood, poured my coffee down the sink, and whispered, I need some air. Out in the city, the lights stretched into golden blurs. My chest hurt, but my thoughts were sharper than they'd been in months. I remembered every ignored warning, the late-night text she said, were coworkers, the sudden quiet when I asked about old memories. I called it privacy, mistook her distance for strength. When I finally returned, she was curled on the couch, scrolling her phone. She looked up uneasy. Ryan, please don't make this worse than it is. I let out a short, hollow laugh. You invited the man you once loved to watch you promise forever to me. Tell me, Emily, how isn't that a big deal? Her lips trembled. It's not like that, she said weakly. I just wanted to be mature about it. Mature? I echoed, shaking my head. Mature isn't pretending. Your past can't hurt your future. It's protecting the one standing beside you. For once, she had no reply. That night, I didn't sleep that night. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything. Her laughter, her warmth, the quiet distance that had crept in over the past few weeks. I thought about the promises we'd made, the future we were building, and how fragile it all suddenly felt. How one choice could pull every thread loose. By morning, I knew what I had to do. She was in the kitchen, making coffee, like nothing had changed. You're quiet, she said softly. I was just thinking, I replied, forcing a faint smile. Maybe we should talk about postponing the wedding. Her eyes widened. What? Ryan, no. That's ridiculous. No, I said calmly. What's ridiculous is marrying someone who doesn't understand loyalty. Her face went pale. Ryan, please, she whispered. You're overreacting. I shook my head slowly. No, Emily. I'm finally reacting. Her expression hardened, shifting from guilt to anger, the kind that comes when control begins to slip. You're seriously ending everything over an invitation? She snapped. Do you even hear how irrational that sounds? I looked at her, really looked. The woman standing before me wasn't the same one I fell in love with. That woman used to listen, used to care how her choices made others feel. This one was defensive, dismissive, blind to the hurt she caused. It's not the invitation, I said quietly. It's what it represents. She crossed her arms. And what's that supposed to mean? It means you wanted your ex there, because some part of you still needed his validation, I said. And you didn't stop to think how that would feel for me on the most important day of our lives. Her lips parted, but nothing came out. For a moment, guilt flickered in her eyes, then vanished. She exhaled sharply. You're twisting this into something it's not. Maybe I was. Or maybe she just couldn't face the truth. I picked up my phone, opened the calendar, and stared at the date, 7 days from now. The day we were supposed to say forever. My chest tightened at the thought of all the plans, the family, the friends. But under it all, I felt calm. Clarity doesn't always come with shouting. Sometimes it's silent. Emily, I said gently, call the planner. Tell her we need to cancel. She froze. You can't be serious. I am, I replied. Because if you can't see why this crossed a line, we shouldn't be getting married at all. Her eyes filled with tears. You're being cruel, she whispered. No, I said. I'm being honest. She stormed out, slamming the door. The echo filled the apartment, but it didn't shake me. For the first time in months, I felt still. That afternoon, I packed a bag and drove to my brother's place. I didn't explain much, just said I needed space. He didn't ask questions. Sometimes brothers just know. Over the next few days, Emily called, then texted. The messages shifted, from apologies to anger, then silence. I didn't block her, but I didn't reply either. I needed my silence to speak louder than words ever could. On the morning we were meant to marry, I woke early. Sunlight slipped through the blinds, soft and warm. I made coffee, sat by the window, and realized I didn't feel broken. I felt free. Around noon, she knocked on the door, no warning, no call. She stood there in a gray hoodie, eyes red and tired. Ryan, she said softly, please don't do this. He wasn't coming anyway. I don't even know why I did it. Maybe I wanted to prove something. I never meant to hurt you. I listened, but the part of me that once ached for her was gone. What filled that space now was something steadier, self-respect. Emily, I said gently, you didn't just invite him. You invited doubt into our marriage before it even began. And once doubt sits at the table, love never eats in peace. She covered her mouth as tears fell. So that's it. I nodded. That's it. She looked at me, voice trembling. I didn't think you'd actually walk away. I gave her a sad, quiet smile. That's the thing about people like me, Emily, we don't explode, we don't make scenes. But when we're done, we're gone. She left quietly, and for the first time since her confession, I breathed without pain. Weeks later, a mutual friend told me she'd moved out, taken a break from social media, said she was focusing on herself. I wished her well, truly. But I also knew some lessons only come after losing the one person who would have given you everything. People call heartbreak an ending, but sometimes it's just a mirror, showing you what you refuse to see. That night, I sat on my balcony, the city humming below, and thought about how love can be both the softest and sharpest thing in the world. As the wind brushed my face, I whispered to myself, almost like a promise. Never again will I love someone who confuses loyalty with control or respect with convenience. Because she might have shattered me that night, but I built something stronger from the pieces.